Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayinim Amba Tvamanusandaddhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyam Tanna Vidussura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Atha Prathamodhyayaha Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetaayuyutsavaha Mamakaः Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya Sanjaya Uvacha Drishtva tu Pandavanikam Vyudhan Duryodanastada Acharyam Raja Vachanam Abravit Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. So, first two we have seen what happened there. So, Sanjaya said that having looked at the army of the Pandavas, then Duryodhana approached his teacher. Who is the teacher? Drona. As I said, he need not approach Drona because Bhishma is the commander-in-chief. But why does he approach this one? Drona, because Bhishma he is sure of, because Bhishma has given a vow to protect the kingdom of Hastinapura. But Drona, all the favorite disciples of Drona are on the other side. That's why he wants to butter him up. Here we see, what's his name? Duryodhana's modus operandi. Modus operandi means the way of moving in the world. He was himself insecure that whether Drona will suddenly go to the other side. So he wants to be nice to him. And then what does he do? He says, Pashya, please look, please see, all your shishyas, your great shishyas who should be with you. He's egging him on. He's manipulating him and making him angry in the battlefield so that Drona will be with him only. So look at the prowess of these wonderful people and look at all your shishyas. All your shishyas should be where? They should be with us. But look, they have gone and joined that army. Pashya etam Pandu putranam, the sons of Pandu. They Acharya, hey Acharya, Mahatim Chamum Pashya. Look at this great big army. And Vyudham. Vyudha means various formations. And like this Chakra Vyuha, everything, various, foot soldiers formation, all these things were called Vyudhas, various battalion formations. So please look at all these Vyudhas by the son of Drupada. Who is this son of Drupada? Your brilliant disciple, your great disciple. Look at what he has done. Drupada's son is Drishtadhyumna. Drishtadhyumna and Draupadi, brother and sister. And Drishtadhyumna and Draupadi were born to the childless Drupada and his queen out of a yajna. And the yajna was done out of retaliation only to destroy Dronacharya. Why did Drupada want to destroy Dronacharya? Yesterday I told you, he didn't give him whatever he asked. And then there was also, when they studied in the same Gurukula, who? Drupada and Drona. Studied in the same Gurukula, and then boys will be boys, and so Drona was little greedy, and he kept on saying, oh, when you grow up you will be king, and I will just be a poor Brahmana. And then in a fit of affection for his friend, he said, don't worry, I'll give you half of my kingdom. It might have been said casually just to make him feel good. But some people cannot understand that. Some people take everything you say literally. And then after Drupada was crowned king, he went there and said, give me half of the kingdom. Drupada nicely sent him packing with a little bit of dakshina, that's all. And that made him even more angry. And then then there was a long skirmish. He wrested the kingdom by force. He sent Arjuna to fight Drupada and get half of the kingdom by force. And then Drupada was so angry, he said, I am going to get 2 children who are going to be instrumental in giving me back my kingdom. So, so therefore, Drishtadhyumna, even though he was a disciple of Dronacharya, went and fought on the other side. He says, look at this brilliant. Brilliant means sarcastically. Look at this Brihaspati. He should be with us, but he has gone over there. And then he goes to describe all the people in the stalwarts, the celebrity warriors on the side of the Pandavas. So next 3 verses we'll chant together. Atra shura maheshvasaha Bhimarjuna samayudhi Yuyudhano viratascha Drupadascha maharathaha Dhrishta धृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः धृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरुजित्कुन्तिभोजश्च शैब्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्तः उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्व एव महारथाः. Yeah, so here means atra. Here means right on the battlefield are present all these unrivaled warriors. Great experts are present. Big fellows are there. Who are there? Shuraha. Shuraha means courageous warriors. And then two things stand out. The next word, Maheshwasaha. And then one more word also starting with Ma, Maharathaha. So we'll define those first before looking at the, the verses. So Maheshwasaha means these people who are great archers. So Ishwasa means archery. So those who have unrivaled themselves in archery. There is nobody else to hold a candle towards them. They are great archers, and so these are the people who are there on the other side. This is again a ploy by Duryodhana to make the other army look very great. Because if the other army looks very big, Drona will feel sorry and say, no, we have to fight harder. Even though these people had more akshauhinis. Akshauhini, again a technical word. It means a unit of battle. One akshauhini has 21,870 elephants, 21,870 horses, and 21,870 elephants, 21,870 chariots, and 65,610 horsemen, meaning you have to supply all the men as well. And then it's not just the horses are there playing in the battlefield by themselves, okay? So horsemen is called what? Cavalry. And then 109,350 foot soldiers. This is one unit of battlefield. And if it seems excessive, multiply that by 18. This was the strength of the Kaurava army. Multiply this one statistics I told you by 11, and that was the strength of Pandava army. Who had the bigger army? Naturally Drona. But still he is trying to make, naturally Duryodhana, but he is trying to make the Drona feel insecure and fight harder and then not go on the other side if that possibility were indeed there. So this is Maheshwasaha. Maharatha also, these are all very technical definitions. Maharatha, Ardharatha, first there is Ratha. Ratha means the one who commands 100 chariots, Ratha. Then Ardharatha, 1,000 chariots, Ratha. Ardharatha means half of that, 500 chariots. And then Maharatha means 10,000 people. 10,000 people of various kinds, whether they are on chariots or horseback. Maharatha, what do? They should be able to fight, not let any harm come to the army, and they should not be toppled from the chariot. All these rules are there. Then there is one more, Atiratha, the one who can fight single-handedly 100,000 people by themselves. without getting toppled from the chariot. So these are all technical definitions. So sarve eva maharathaha, these are all of them are unrivaled. And then what are they? Who are these people? They are each one of them. Satyaki. Satyaki is the king of Virat. We saw that yesterday. King of Virat. Then Drupada and Drishtaketu. Drishtaketu and Chekitanaha. Chekitanaha and Drishtaketu were Yadava chieftains who had seen the side of Dharma and joined Arjuna. Then Kashi, the king of Kashi. What was his name? Abhibhu. Abhibhu, the king of Kashi. Purujit and Kunti Bhoja. Purujit and Kunti Bhoja are brothers of Kunti. Two brothers of Kunti. Naturally, they'll join her side only. So they were also there. They're all great people. Then Shaibya, all these people exalted among all the men. And then we have two warriors of great strength, Yudhamanyu and Uttamaujas. And Saubhadra. Who is Saubhadra? Subhadrasya apatyam Puman. The son of Subhadra. As I said in English, 3 words. Actually 4 words. The son of Subhadra. Saubhadra. That's all you have to say in Sanskrit. It's a very compact language. Abhimanyu. All these people are there in great measure. They are all gathered here. This is what the 3 verses were there. Asmakantu vishishtaye Tani bodhadvijottama Nayaka mama sainyasya Sanyarthatvan bravimite. So then, Dvijottama, the most learned, the most erudite among the twice born, among all the Brahmanas. Who is that? He is flattering Drona again. Asmakam, ours, our army, the leaders of our army also I am going to enlist, not each and every person, but the main people, like he said, the main people on the other side. In our side also I am going to enlist. Please take note of them because I am going to introduce you to them. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitinjayaha Ashwathama Vikarnascha Saumadattirjayadrathaha Anye cha bahava shuraha Madarte tyakta jivitaha Nana shastra praharanaha Sarve yuddha visharadaha. We are also no less. Why? Because our stalwart warrior starts from you. Bhavan. You. Bhavan means respectfully. Like in Hindi we will say aap. So, starts from you. And then who else is there? Bhishma. Who should he have listed first? Bhishma he should have listed. He is the Pitamaha. He is the eldest of all the Kurus. He should have, and he is the, besides he is also the commander in chief. He should have listed him. But who did he list? He listed Drona. Because there is some insecurity where Drona is concerned. And so he is flattering him. Bhavan, Bhishmascha, and then Karna. And we already saw yesterday how Karna was pumped up to join the Duryodhana's side. Karnascha, Kripa. Kripa is the brother-in-law sage, also a warrior, brother-in-law of Dronacharya. Dronacharya's wife was named Kripi. Kripa and Kripi, maybe they were twins. Or the parents lacked imagination, whatever it is, Kripa and Kripi. So Kripi was the wife of Dronacharya, and then Kripa was the brother-in-law. They were all on that side. And then, who is this Kripa? Samitinjayaha Kripaha. Samiti means the battlefield. The one who is never, never parajita, defeated in war. This is Kripa. And then Ashwathama. Who is Ashwathama? Yeah, this is all a family enterprise here, okay? Brother-in-law and this and that and son and everybody. Vikarna, as we said yesterday, younger brother of Duryodhana. And then Somadatta, another king, and Saumadattihi, Somadatta's son, and then Jayadratha. So these are all the people. And then Anyecha Bhavashuraha, and then this is just the basic stalwarts, and then he says many people are there who are all very shuraha, very, very courageous. And who are they? Madarthe tyakta jivitaha, meaning those who have given up their lives for me. What a way to talk. If they had already given up their life, he would have a dead army, correct? But they are very much standing up there and listening to him talk like this. So what does this mean? This is some kind of an omen. That's why we have to be very careful of speech. Thought we cannot be careful of. Thoughts just come. But speech, at that level, we have to be very careful of speech. Thoughts also later on one can manage, but in the beginning, speech is the first to go to. So it became a very ominous statement that he says, Madarthe tyakta jivitaha, they have all given up their lives for me, and that's exactly what happened. Everybody perished. And then Nana Shastra Praharanaha. Praharana is the astra, that which is thrown. Shastra is that which is deployed. And so we saw that yesterday. So Nana Shastra Praharanaha means they are experts in astra and shastra. Sarve Yuddha Visharadaha, and they are all expert warriors, very well studied in warfare. They have great, they are all great warriors. And then he compares. In 10 and 11, he compares. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishmabhirakshitam paryaptam tvidametesham balam bhimabhirakshitam. Aparyaptam here means something slightly different. Usually we would, in Hindi or some other languages, we would translate it as inadequate. We must not do that here. Aparyaptam here means limitless, where there are no bounds. Means our army is bigger, 1.5 times bigger than those people. So our army is bigger. Aparyaptam tad asmakam balam. Balam means the strength of our army is bigger. How? What is this army? Bhishmabhirakshitam. Under the protection of Bhishma, because he is the commander-in-chief. Under the protection of Bhishma, our army is very, very limitless. It is huge. Paryaptam means theirs is limited. Their army, under the command of who? Bhima, is very, very limited. That's all he's saying. And then Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagam avasthitaha bhishmamevabhirakshantu bhavantas sarva evahi. Another silly things he says. He can't stop saying silly things. So he says Now, what does he say? He says, yes, ayaneshu cha sarveshu, in all the divisions of your respective armies where you are stationed, yatha bhagam avasthitaha, wherever you appear to be stationed. Then, what should you do? You should always protect Bhishma because he is the commander-in-chief. If Bhishma falls, everybody falls. So, everybody, all of you, protect Bhishma. Who is Bhishma? Yeah, but what was his prowess? What was his virya? He had the will of dying whenever he wanted. Svecha Maranam. What protection does he need? If he doesn't want to die, he is not going to die. So, but this fellow keeps saying silly things, just mouths off whatever he wants, and then he says that all of you just protect Bhishma. Bhishma must have heard. And what does Bhishma say? He doesn't say, he shows he doesn't need any protection by blowing his conch shell, which signals the start of the war. Like I said yesterday, it's not easy to go to war, especially in those days. Terrible. Even now it's not easy. But in those days, in one big Maidan, all these people are coming against, and then you could just be fodder of all the shastras and astras. So it's very frightening. No matter how courageous you are, it's a death wish to go to battlefield. So then you have to keep beating your chest, saying some rallying cries and all these things, and this is what both the sides start to do at the start of the war. Tasya sanjayanan harsham Guru vriddhah pitamaha Simhanadam vinodyochaihi Shankham dadmau pratapavan. So, the grandfather, Kuru Vriddha, the grandfather, the elder of the Kuru clan, Tasya Sanjayanan Harsham. So, to show his happiness, happiness means he showed that he heard, okay, they are trying to protect me, let me show them. And he let out a loud roar to send all the foot soldiers from the other side packing. He let out a loud roar, made a big noise, and then like a lion. Simhanadam vinodya uchaihi simhanadam vinodya. Then what did he do? This valorous Bhishma took out his conch shell and blew it loudly. It was almost like the rest of the battlefield was waiting for this only. They didn't want anything else. So everybody picked up their own shankhas and kettle drums and bugles, cowbells, tabors. Tabors means that, what is that, duffly? What is that called? It's got some things around it and then it's got a drum in between. So everybody started to do that. Oh, was it a musical concert? No, just a lot of noise makers making noise at once to show the start of the war and to fill the place with a certain kind of a seriousness. Okay, the battle is going to start, and to also rally the people on their own sides. And then the conch shells also have names, as we shall see. Tata shankhascha bheryascha Panavanaka gomukhaha Sahasaivabhyahanyanta Sashabdastu mulo bhavat Tumulaha ubhavat Tumulaha abhavat. Tumulaha means like the noise that can cause an earthquake, that kind of a noise. Earth-shattering noise took place. Why? Because tataha, soon after the grandsire took out his conch and blew his conch shell, all the people, all the warriors started to take out whatever they had. What was that? Let us see what all they had. Panava means kettle drums. And then Anaka means bugles, tabors, all these things. Gomukhaha, cowbells. Sahasa eva abhyahanyanta. Sahasa means all of a sudden, all these things were blasted forth, and then there was a small earthquake. And then seeing the Kauravas side blow all the conches, what did the Pandavas side do? They said, we are also not going to keep quiet. Tatashvetair hayair yukte mahatisyandane sthitau madhavav pandavaschaiva दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदध्मतुः पाञ्चजन्यं हृषीकेशः देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः पौण्ड्रं दद्मौ महाशङ्खम् भीमकर्मावृकोदरः अनन्तविजयं राजा कुन्तीपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः नकुलः सहदेवश्च सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ काश्यश्च परमेश्वासः शिखण्डी च महारथः धृष्टद्युम्नो विराटश्च सात्यकी चापराजितः द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वशः पृथिवीपते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहुः शङ्खान् दद्मुः पृथक् पृथक्. So, tatah shvetair hayaihi yukte mahatisyandane sthitau. There standing in the big chariot drawn by white horses, or who Krishna and Arjuna blew their conches. Divyau Shankhav, their celestial conches. Maybe they were given by certain yakshas, kinnaras, whatever it was. So their celestial conches they blew. What was the name of the conch of Lord Krishna? Panchajanyam. Panchajanya Hrishikesha, not Rishikesh, okay? Hrishikesha. Shrishika Ishaha, the one who is the master of the sense organs. So then Devadattam was the Devadatta was the name of the conch shell of Dhananjaya. And then Bhimakarma Vrikodaraha. Bhima is called Bhimakarma because you could ask him to do all kinds of terrible things. He would just do them. And so Bhimakarma, who is what? Vrikodaraha. Like a svelte tummy, like a wolf. And he shared one more quality with the wolf. Wolf is always hungry, they say. That's where perhaps the expression keeping the wolf at the door came from. Old English expression. So wolf is always hungry. Bhima also was very, very hungry. He was blessed with being able to eat a lot and not gain weight. Yes. Unlike some other people who just look at the food and put on weight without even eating. So, Bhima had a very special dispensation body type for him, and so Bhima Karma Vrikodaraha. Vrikodaraha Bhima Karma, and he had a huge Mahashankham. Because he was so big, he had a huge, big lung. He didn't have lungs, he had bellows, huge lung power, and so he blew this conch called Poundram, Mahashankham, Bhima Karma Vrikodaraha. Then Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha. So Ananta Vijayam means the one who is, the Ananta Vijaya is that one which is never, defeated in battlefield. That's the name of the conch shell itself, belonging to Yudhishthira, Ananta Vijayam. And then Nakula and Sahadeva, they also had their own conch shells. What are they? Sughosha and Manipushpaka. Kashyascha Parameshwasaha. Parameshwasaha is not the name of the conch, it's his description. Who was an expert archer. And Shikhandi, who a great valorous fighter. And then Drishtadhyumna and Virata, Satyaki, all these things, who are, the Drupada and Draupadeya, Drishtadhyumna, all these people, the big kings, they all brew their own conches. Maybe that's how the expression blowing your own trumpet came from. They all blew their own conches, prithak, separately, they blew their own conches, and this terrible sound made for filled the armies with a lot of fear. Saghosho dharshta rashtraanam hridaya nivyadarayat nabhascha prithivin chaiva tumulo vyanunadayan. The terrible sound reverberated on the earth, in the sky, in all the four quarters, and the other four non-cardinal directions, and then what? Filling the people in the army with tearing asunder their hearts and filling them with a great dread. That's what happened. Till now, Arjuna is sitting quietly. Then all these huge battle cries makes him also really get ready for war. He forgets even who Lord Krishna is. He forgets. He thinks he is the judge, chauffeur. And then what does he say? Hey, Achyuta. Just like you call a driver. Oh, you, come here. Keep my chariot between the two armies so that me, this big warrior who I am, can see who are these people who dare to fight against me. Let me see who they are. Does Krishna get upset? No. Why? We'll see soon. Atha vyavasthitan dhritva dhartarashtran kapidvajah pravritte shastra sampate dhanurudyamya pandavah rishikesham tada vakyam idamahamahipate. So when the battle is about to begin, seeing the sons of Dhritarashtra assembled on the other side, Arjuna is described as Kapidhvaja. Kapidhvaja means the one who had a flag in the form of a small Hanumanji on his chariot. Now, Hanumanji is a Chiranjeevi. Chiranjeevi means never dies. And so even though one whole yuga has gone, because Hanumanji's story is where? In Treta Yuga. Now what is the yuga? Dwapara Yuga. So even though there is no connection at all, Hanumanji survives and he is described as an old man, old Vanara, and then Arjuna asks him to come and fight the war. He said, no, I am done with wars. But I can sit on the top of the chariot in the form of a flag and make terrible noises and scare people away. And that's exactly what he did. That was his contribution. Whenever people came close to Arjuna's chariot, he would scare them away because they didn't expect it. There's somewhere from top the noise is coming, what is this? And then it is said that he was so bored throughout. He was just very bored. It felt like the Kurukshetra war, even though we think it was terrible, and they themselves also thought it was terrible, he thought it was a video game, like, little arrows going, and he just thought it was like a video game. He got bored. He just slept throughout. When Abhimanyu fought, he woke up. And 2-3 other times he woke up, but other than the time, he just slept. After the war, he was supposedly asked, so what did you think of this war? This is war. He says the real war was Rama Ravana Yuddha. Rama Ravana Yuddha, Rama Ravanayoho Yuddha Iva, he said. So that is incomparable. The Ravana Rama war is comparable to Rama Ravana war. No other comparison. Because that was a very different kind of fighting. You didn't, the Vanaras, they were impulsive, rajasic and quick. Vanaras, don't call them monkeys. They were some kind of a humanoids. That's why they are called Vanaras. Naro Vanava iti Shanka. There is a doubt whether they were human beings or not. So, these Vanaras could not be trained. They were restless, jumping around and rajasic. So if you give them a bow and arrow, they would break the bow and they would go away. That they didn't have any patience for this. So then Rama was forced to let them fight however they knew how to fight. And then they used very strange equipment in the battlefield. If they wanted to off two asuras, they would pick up one with one hand, pick up the other with another hand, dash, throw, finished. Each one is becoming a weapon for the other, and this is how it was throughout. And then, so here Kapidhwaja, this Arjuna started to address Lord Krishna. What did he say? Let us see. Arjuna uvacha senayorubhayor madhye ratham sthapayamechyuta yavadetan nirikshyeham yodhukaman avasthitan kairmaya sahayoddhavyam asmin ranasamudyame yotsyamanana veksheham ya etetra samagataha dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः. Yeah. So Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna said. What did he say? Senayoho ubhayoho madhye. In the middle of the two armies, ratham sthapayame. He Achyuta. You shouldn't call He Achyuta for Lord Krishna, but he does that because he's full of pride. He's full of he just got carried away with all the conch shells blowing in the battlefield, and then he just, in that moment, he loses himself, and then he says, let's see, yavadetan nirikshyeham, so that I can inspect. Who Yodhu kaman avasthitan. All those people who are desiring to fight, who have gathered here. Kairmaya saha yodhavyam. Who dares to fight with me in this battlefield? Yodsamanan aveksheham. So I want to look at all of them. I want to see them. I want to inspect them. Why? Because this is who is this who has this intention of fighting, who is influenced by Duryodhana's bad thinking. Durbuddhi. Durbuddhi means wrong thinking. Who is it that influenced by Duryodhana's bad thinking? Who are all these people that have gone and joined him? Let me see. Maybe I can look at them and they'll come back to my side. Or he still hoped that the war could be averted. We don't know. So he says like this. And then what happens after that? Sanjaya speaks again. Sanjaya uvacha eva mukto hrishikeshaha gudakeshena bharata senayorubhayor madhye स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम् भीष्मद्रोणप्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्येतान् समवेतान् कुरूनिति. Now Sanjaya takes over the narrative again, because the time for Shri Bhagavan Uvacha has not yet come. When the Shri Bhagavan Uvacha in first person come, that's when the teaching begins. Here we are still seeing the context of the battlefield, still in the first chapter. So, Sanjaya Uvacha. So what did Sanjaya say? Sanjaya said that Eva Muktva, spoken to by this way, Hrishikeshaha, Lord Krishna, Gudakeshena, by Arjuna, spoken to in this way by Arjuna. Lord Krishna, what did he do? He said he went and put the chariot in between the two armies, but then whatever Krishna does, he does with a small twist. He could have put it where all the other people were standing. No. He just inched the chariot where all the elders were there. He inched the chariot to the place, Bhishma Drona Pramukhatah, right in front of Bhishma and Drona. Bhishma, in whose laps he had played all his life, who he looked up to. He never started a war without getting blessings from Bhishma. Drona, his own teacher. How could he do this? Drona was his own teacher. And so in front of Bhishma and Sarveshancha Mahikshitan, all these big kings who he knew, who he had played with, and who he had gone to Gurukula with, or Shastra Vidya he learnt from. Shastra Vidya means archery, and battlefield training he got along with them. All these people were there. And then what did he say? Partha Uvacha. Partha said, Lord Krishna said, Pashya etan, samavetan kurun. Look at all these people that have gathered to fight against you. So, that is where he starts to lose his nerve. Who? Arjuna. Because he cannot handle it. Up till now, there was some bravado in him, with all the noise in the battlefield, and then everybody beating their chest and blowing their conch shells and kettle drums and everything. There was a lot of bravery, bravado, not even bravery, a semblance of bravery. Bravado was there, and then what? All his courage left him when he sees these people, and his heart sinks to his stomach, and he cannot even think any further. Tatra pashyat sthitan partha Pitrunatha pitamahan Acharyan matulan bhratrun Putran pautram sakhims tatha Tan samikshya sa kaunteya. Oh, did I leave out something? Shvashuran suhradaschaiva Senayurubhayorapi Tan samikshya sa kaunteya Sarvan bandhun avasthitan Kripaya paraya vishtah Vishidan nidam abravit. So Tatra means standing right in front of them. What did Arjuna see? Partha. What did he see? Apashyat. He saw Sthitan, all these people assembled here. Who was there? Acharyan, teachers, Pitamahan. So the grandfathers, Pitruscha, paternal elders, uncles, etc. Matulan, maternal uncles. Bhratrun, brothers, cousins. And then nieces, nephews, fathers-in-law, friendly people, all these people. Everybody that either in his lap they had played or he himself had played in their lap. There was only two categories of people. All those people were very, very, very dear to him. And then he was seized by an emotion of sorrow and helplessness. Kripaya. Kripaya means pity here. Kripaya paraya avishtah. Overcome by a strange kind of pity, sorrow, at this predicament where they had been able to not even resolve all these things, and naturally all the nostalgic feelings come, like, oh, we had played like this, oh, with this fellow I went and climbed the mango tree and stole the neighbor's mangoes, how fun it was, and here he is looking at me blood-curdlingly, and here he is trying to kill me. And this one, he would not go to sleep as a baby. Only when I carried him, he would go to sleep. These are the kinds of people that were there. And he was overcome by a terrible self-pity. Kripaya paraya avishtah vishidan. Vishidan means out of total doldrums, out of a total sorrow. What did he say? He said, abravit. He then addresses Krishna because he is just very, very upset. Arjuna uvacha Drishtvevam svajanam Krishna Yuyutsam samupasthitam Sidanti mama gatrani Mukhancha parishusyati Vepathuscha sharire me Romaharshascha jayate Gandivam samsrate hastat Tvakchaiva paridahyate Nacha shaknomyavasthatum Brahmativa cha me manaha Nimittani cha pashyami Viparitani keshava Na cha shreyo nupashyami Hatva svajanamahave. So, what happens? He says, Drishtva evam. In this manner, looking at these people. Who are these people? Swajanam, my own people. Swajanam, hey Krishna, Drishtva, Yuyutsam, desires to fight. They are my own people. And then Samupasthitam, assembled in battalion formations, ready to fight with me. Sidanti mama gatrani. Gatra is limbs. The limbs are shaking. And then the limbs are shaking. Mukham cha parishusyati. I am having dry mouth, dehydration. Vepathuscha sharire me. Vepathuscha is kampanam. In the my body is quivering body, trembling body. Romaharshascha jayate, horripilations. Hair is standing on end. And then Gandiva. Gandiva is the name of bow. Whose bow? Arjuna's bow. So, sramsate hastat. Srams, to slip. Why did it slip from the hand? Sweat. Sweat in the hand. That's how it slipped. Gandivam sramsate hastat. And then tyak chaiva paridahyate. The skin is hot to touch. I think I'm coming down with fever, he says. Nacha shaknomi avasthatum. I cannot stop my mind. Why? Bhramati ivacha me manaha. My mind is distracted. And then I am seeing horrible omens. Nimittani means horrible bad omens. I am seeing everywhere. Nothing good is going to come out of this. Viparitani nimittani. Bad omens I am seeing. And then Nacha shreyaha anupashyami. I don't see anything good coming out of this, of killing our own people in the battlefield. Now all these symptoms taken together is the first panic attack in history. Yes, this is what happens. First panic attack in history, tyak chaiva paridahyate. He hears a knocking sound and sees that they are his own knees knocking against one another. And then what else? He sees all kinds of omens. This is what happens when the mind is in a weak state. Let's say one is going for a job interview. You have a cat, neighbor's cat is there. The black cat comes and rubs itself against you every day. And you just say, oh, how sweet, and then you pet it. And then on the day of the job interview, it comes and crosses, and you immediately say, oh no, is this bad luck? Poor cat, what will it do? Yeah, it's like that. So when the mind is in a vulnerable state, all kinds of wrong things one starts thinking. And he is able to say all this. And hands are sweaty, the Gandiva is slipping, and then I can't stop my mind, it is in overdrive, it's thinking too much. And then Romaharshascha jayate, I am having horripilations. And then what else does he say that we have left out? Yeah, sidanti mukham cha parishusyati, dry mouth. Dry mouth also happens in cases of you don't know how to act. So there is all this dry mouth, and then what else? Sweaty palms, and then can't keep his mind in check. And now we come to a very important part of the first chapter. Why? Because had the paper bag been discovered, we would have had no more Gita. What would Lord Krishna would have said? Breathe into paper bag, foo, foo, foo. A little carbon dioxide will calm down the mind, and then you can go fight, no problem. And then we would not have had the Bhagavad Gita. So I say, thank God the paper bag wasn't invented. Thank God he had to take a close look at his own discomfort and his own self-pity and his own sense of victimization and his deluded love for his cousins. He had to take a look at that. And so this was his panic attack. After the panic attack, all the desire to fight leaves him. So what is this for? What is this fight for? Victory. I don't want victory. What is this victory for? Rajya, kingdom. I don't want kingdom. What is this kingdom for? Enjoyment. I don't want enjoyment. And what is this, Because what is the use of victory, kingdom and enjoyment when the people that you want to enjoy this with are all gone? This is where the Stockholm syndrome I diagnosed yesterday. Okay? So this is where there is a certain kind of a disconnect. He knows how much they have tried to kill him so many times, yet he has some kind of a misspoken affection for them, misplaced affection for them. God only knows why, but that is his makeup. He must have been a person who was a great warrior, but really speaking conflict averse. He did not like to engage in conflict. Just give them everything. Let's go. Let's stop this war. This is what he's going to say next. Nakankshe vijayam Krishna. Najarajyam sukhani cha. Kinno rajyena govinda. Kim bhogair jivitena va. Nakankshe. I do not want. What I don't want? Victory. Oh Krishna, I do not want victory. Victory is for the sake of kingdom. I do not want kingdom. Kingdom is for the sake of happiness, enjoyment. I don't want sukha. Kinno rajyena govinda. Oh Govinda, what is the use of having a kingdom? Kim bhogaihi. Kim bhogaihi means what is the use of having objects of enjoyment, having a kingdom? And then here you see him on the brink of feeling suicidal. For that matter, jivitena va. What is the point of life itself? And then he goes on to say, Yesham arthe kankshitam naha. Rajyam bhoga sukhani cha. Taimeva sthita yuddhe. Pranans tyaktva dhanani cha. Acharyah pitarah putraha. Tathaiva cha pitamahaha. Matula shvashurah pautraha. Shyala sambandhinastatha. Etan nahantumicchami. Gnatopi madhusudana. Api trailokya rajyasya. Hetoh kinnu mahi krite. Yesham arthe. For whose sake alone the kingdom and pleasures were desired by us, they have all assembled on the other side. They have given up, they have all assembled in the battle. Many of them have given up a lot to join this battle. Some of them are also going to give up their lives. What is the use of all this? What is the use of so much carnage? For what? For the sake of people with whom we want to enjoy, when they themselves may not be there at the end of the war. What is the point of all this? That's what he says. And who are these people? Acharyaha, teachers, pitaraha, paternal relatives, and then tathaivacha pitamahaha, grandfathers, and putraha, children, nephews, etc. Matulaha, maternal uncles, shvashuraha, in-laws, pautraha, grandchildren, shyalaha, cousins, sambandhinaha, other relatives. All these things. And I don't want to kill them. Even if they are desirous of killing me, I don't want to kill them. I don't desire to these for what? For what am I going to kill them? Just to reign over one small little kingdom. Forget the small kingdom, O Krishna. I don't want to kill them even if you offered me 3 lokas on a platter. Bhuhu, bhuvaha, suvaha. If you offered me on a platter, just say, you fight this war and I'll give you 3 lokas, not just this loka. Even then, I would think of it as a meaningless war. Don't want this at all. Nihatya dharta rashtrannah ka priti syad janardana papameva shrayedasman hatvaitana tatayinah. Yeah, here he's really lost his mind because he's saying contrary things. So, nihatya dharta rashtran nah, for us, ka priti syat, what benefit is there? If we kill these sons of Dhritarashtra, what benefit is there to us? In fact, on the contrary, we will incur papa. Why? Killing incurs papa. Now, you can take his argument if he had said that at the beginning of every battlefield, killing incurs papa, I am not going to kill. In other battles, he was just not at all very nonchalant, very brave. He was told he could just make short shrift of the army and come back. He would come back before lunchtime. He would go in the morning, before lunchtime he would be back. Because when Arjuna went for a battle, everything went into fast forward. So, nihatya dharta rashtrannah ka pritihi syat. What is the hita here? What is the benefit of killing them? There is no benefit at all. In fact, on the contrary, we will incur papa by killing these atatayin. Atatayinah means terrorists. Do you incur papa by killing terrorists? No. Here he is contradicting himself. Poor fellow has lost his mind. He himself said, Nacha shaknomi avasthatum brahmati iva me manaha. He said, I can't stop my mind, it's going all over the place. All over the place, indeed it is going. But with whatever logic he can muster, he is going to try from here to almost till the end of the chapter, he is going to try weaving a very dire story for what is going to happen as a result of this war and why this war must not be fought. He is going to weave a very dire story, and in his own way he is correct. I mean, correct means where his limited thinking is, he is correct. He is not looking at the fact apparently that these are people who are terrorists and they are torturing the praja. Praja means all the subjects. So it is no longer a war between two families, but it's a war which has very big consequences. So then he says, Tasman narha vayam hantum dhartarashtran svabandhavan swajanam hi katham hatva sukhina syama madhava. Yeah. Therefore, we should not kill our own people, our own relatives, because destroying our own relatives, how can we be happy? Who is happy after destroying their relatives? Nobody is happy. Therefore, we should not kill our own relatives. We'll stop here for today and then we'll finish this tomorrow. Okay? Tonight we will have question answer. Okay? So I will give one box. Is there a box here, Karthik? Huh? I can give, you come see me, I'll give you the box. So verbal questions we will not take, written questions. So take the time and write it and keep it in the box. Box can be kept over there. Yeah, and then or even here. box can be kept there, and you can just put on a piece of paper your questions, make it legible. Don't write it like a doctor's prescription, the stereotypical doctor's prescription. So write it in a legible way, and then we will have Q&A tonight. Okay, all the best. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.